In module 1, we saw a important property of natural numbers, that is Well-ordering principle or principle of mathematical induction. In module 2 of this chapter 1, we are going to discuss divisibility properties of integers. These properties are familiar to you. You come across these in your third or fourth standard, but we will recall these in a very quick way, and also we will state and prove division algorithm, and also we will give few applications of this division algorithm. In chapter 1, we are looking fundamentals and divisibility of integers. So, in module 2, we are going to discuss properties of division of integers and division algorithm. Learning objectives of module 2 are: first one, division and its properties of integers; second, we will discuss division algorithm and its applications. So, first we have to define what is division in integers means. Let a comma b belongs to z and a not equal to 0, then a is said to divide b if there exists an integer k such that b is equal to a into k. We denote it by a slash b, that means a divides b. A does not divide b is denoted like that. So, to understand that what that a does not divide b or a divides b is a statement. For example, 2 divides 6 is true and 6 divides 2 is false, whereas 6 by 2 is a number that is equal to 3. Few properties of division: let a, b and d are integers, then following statements are true. First one is the reflexive property, which says that every integer divides itself. Of course, we should be careful that in the definition we are not allowing a to be 0. Transitivity property: d divides a and a divides b implies d divides b. Linearity property: d divides a and d divides b implies d divides a n plus b m for all integers n and m. That is, if d divides a comma b, then d divides every integer linear combination of a and b. This is one of the important property which we are going to use very frequently. So, that is why we highlighted d divides every integer linear combination of a and b once d divides a and b. Cancellation property: if a is not equal to 0 and a d divides a n, then d divides n. Multiplicative property: if d divides n, then a d divides a n. 1 and minus 1 divides every integer. So, 1 divides n, minus 1 divides n for all n belongs to z. 1 and minus 1 are divisible by 1 and minus 1 only, that is, if n divides 1 implies n equal to plus or minus 1. Another equivalent way of stating the above two properties is 1 and minus 1 are the only invertible elements in z. Every number divides 0. So, d divides 0 for all d belongs to z. Comparison property: if d and n are positive and d divides n, then d is less than or equal to n. One of the important applications of Well-ordering principle is the division algorithm. Suppose an integer a is divided by an integer b not equal to 0, then we will get unique coefficient q and unique remainder r, where the remainder satisfies 0 less than or equal to r is less than or equal to modulus of b. Here a is called dividend and b is the divisor. This is just saying another way that either a is a multiple of b or a lies between two consecutive multiples of b, that is, a is between qb and q plus 1 into b. This formally stated as follows, known as division algorithm. Let a belongs to z, comma b belongs to z minus 0, that means we are not allowing b to be 0. It is because in the definition of division 0 does not divide any integer. Then there exist integers q comma r belongs to z such that a is equal to b q plus r, where 0 is less than or equal to r is less than mod b. If you look at the statement, what happens is the hypothesis is very simple. Just we are giving two integers a and b not equal to 0, then rest follows, that is, there exist unique integers q comma r satisfying a is equal to b q plus r and 0 is less than or equal to r is less than mod b. So, we will see the proof of this one. First we will see the existence. First we will prove the result for when b is positive. In the statement we just say that b is not equal to 0, but first we will prove the result for b greater than or equal to 1. Later we will extend this result for b less than or equal to minus 1 as well. Consider the set S is equal to a minus b n belongs to Z. Again if you look at the set, a and b are fixed, n is changing, n is the variable. That is, the set S is equal to a plus or minus b plus or minus 2b, a plus or minus 3b and so on. It is clear that S contains infinitely many integers. Further, when n equal to modulus of minus a, we have a minus b into minus of modulus of a, that is equal to a plus b into modulus of a, that is greater than or equal to a plus mod a, that is greater than or equal to 0. That means S contains a non-negative integers. So, we will consider S dash equal to S intersection n union 0. Then by well ordering principle, S dash has a least element, say R. As we proved, well ordering principle is also true for non-negative integers. So, we have S dash as a least element, say R. Now, R belongs to S dash and S dash is a subset of S. Hence, there exists Q belongs to Z such that R is equal to a minus b q, that is from definition of S, or a is equal to b q plus r. So, we got the required equality, that is a equal to b q plus r. So, now we need to show that conditions on R, that is from the definition of S dash we already have that 0 is less than or equal to R, as S dash is equal to S intersection n union 0, as R is greater than or equal to 0. Now, we will show that R is less than b. Suppose R is greater than or equal to b, that means we are assuming contradiction. Then 0 is less than or equal to r minus b, which is equal to a minus b q, that is we will going to get a minus b into q plus 1, that is also belongs to S dash, since this is greater than or equal to 0. So, we have r minus b is less than r, it is because b is greater than or equal to 1. So, r minus b is strictly less than r, which is a contradiction, as r is the least element in S dash. So, r less than b is wrong. So, now we have to prove uniqueness. Let q1, q2, r1, r2 belongs to Z, and we are assuming that a can be represented in two ways. One is a equal to b1 bq1 plus r1 and bq2 plus r2, where 0 is less than or equal to r1 less than b and 0 is less than or equal to r2 less than b. We have to prove that r1 equal to r2, then that automatically follows q1 is equal to q2. So, we will assume that r1 is greater than or equal to r2, then from the equations that a is equal to bq1 plus r1 and bq2 plus r2, r2 minus r1 becomes a multiple of b, that is r1 minus r2 is equal to b into q2 minus q1. So, r1 minus r2 belongs to 0 into b, 1 into b, 2 into b and so on. Thus, b divides r1 minus r2, and 0 is less than or equal to r1 minus r2 is less than or equal to r1, which is less than b, which is possible only if r1 minus r2 equal to 0. Hence, we also get q1 minus q2 equal to 0. Finally, we have to prove for every b not equal to 0. So, we proved till now we proved b is greater than or equal to 1. So, we will assume now b negative, then minus b becomes positive. So, whatever we proved till now we can apply. That means, there exist integers q and r belongs to Z such that a is equal to minus b into q plus r, which is equal to b into minus q plus r. So, where 0 is less than or equal to r is less than minus b. Note that division properties we will discuss only for the integers, not for the rational numbers, real numbers or complex numbers, as we know that those number systems are fields. So, there every non-zero element is invertible. So, every non-zero element divides every other element in the fields. So, that makes the division properties in integers is interesting. So, now we are going to discuss few applications of this division algorithm. Now, we are looking few applications of division algorithm. In A equal to B q plus r, first we will start with let us take B is equal to 2. Let A be any integer, then by division algorithm we have A is equal to B q plus r, where r is equal to 0 or r equal to 1. So, that is only possible values for r are 0 or 1. When r is equal to 0, we have A is equal to 2q called even integer. When r equal to 1, we have A equal to 2q plus 1 called odd integer, which we are familiar with. So, division algorithm by taking B is equal to 2, we will end up with even integers and odd integers. If you take B equal to 3, then the possible remainders are r equal to 0 or 1 or 2. Consequently, every integer can be expressed as 3q or 3q plus 1 or 3q plus 2. In other words, the set of integers is divided into 3 sets: multiples of 3, multiples of 3 plus 1 and multiples of 3 plus 2. So, what we are doing here is that set of integers we are putting in 3 different bags. One bag contains all multiples of 3, another bag contains multiples of 3 plus 1, that means those integers which will give remainder 1 after dividing by 3, and last bag contains all integers which will give remainder 2 if I divided by 3. So, this can be extended. For example, when b equal to 4, we have 4 bags now, that means set of integers is divided into 4 sets such that there any 2 if I take arbitrarily, their intersection is empty. That means, an integer cannot give remainder 1 and 2 at the same time if I divide it by 4. So, the set of integers now divided into 4 parts, that is set of all multiples of 4, all multiples of 4 plus 1, all multiples of 4 plus 2, all multiples of 4 plus 3. The advantage of division algorithm is that it allows us to prove certain assertions about all integers by considering only a finite number of cases. So, that means that there is no need to prove for all the integers. Sometimes what happens, if I give some conditions for the integers which satisfy some condition, then they will come in one of those bags. Then we have to prove the result only for the elements in that particular bag. Bag by means those will give the same remainder, or it may be sometimes combination of 2 bags. So, I will illustrate this with an example. Let A be any integer, then A is equal to 2q or A is equal to 2q plus 1. It is because every integer is either even or odd. So, consequently, if I square it, then A square is equal to 4k or 4k plus 1. In other words, square of every integer cannot be of the form 4k plus 2 or 4k plus 3. That one can check easily. If you take a pen and paper, if you work it out, then it comes out that no square integer is of the form 4k plus 2 or 4k plus 3. For example, look at 1 square is 1, 2 square is 4, that is a multiple of 4, 3 square is 9, that is a multiple of 4 plus 1, 4 square is 16, that is a multiple of 4, 5 square is 25, that is a multiple of 4 plus 1. So, every square integer is of the form either 4k or 4k plus 1. So, this is very useful. It is because I want to know the properties of the integers which are squares, then it is sufficient to look at the integers which are of the form either 4k or 4k plus 1. No need to look the integers which are of the form 4k plus 2 or 4k plus 3. Similarly, one can prove that every square odd integer must be of the form 8k plus 1 for some integer k. So, now in this case what happens, if I use b as my 8, then a set of integers are divided into 8 bags, multiples of 8 and multiples of 8 plus 1 and so on, multiples of 8 plus 1. So, I want to see the properties of an odd integer which is also square, then it is sufficient to look at only the integers of the form 8k plus 1. So, before going to that, first we will prove that every odd square integer is of the form 8k plus 1. So, proof is very simple. Note that every odd integer is of the form either 8k plus 1 or 8k plus 3 or 8k plus 5 or 8k plus 7. So, it is a simple calculation. If you square it any of these, for example 8k plus 1 whole square, automatically if you square it, you will get plus 1 will be there at the end. So, 8k plus 3 whole square also will get 9. So, 9 again we can write as 8 plus 1, 5 square will get at the end, we will get constant term as 25, that is also we can write it as 24 plus 1, 7 square that is 49. So, we can write it as 48 plus 1. So, all these numbers if I square it, then they are of the form again 8k plus 1 only. So, now by using all these things we will going to prove some results. So, one of the first problem is that we have to show that no integer in the following sequence is a perfect square. So, I just take a pause here for the video and try to do this problem. So, that you will understand what to do or how to apply. So, what is our objective? All the numbers here are of the form 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 like that. So, we have to show that none of them is a square. So, what is the idea? How can we proceed to solve this problem? So, we already know that every square of every integer is either of the form 4r or 4r plus 1. So, if you are able to show somehow that all those numbers 11, 1 1 1, 1 1 1 1 and all those numbers are none of these forms, right? That means either 4r or 4r plus 1, then we are done. It is easy to see that none of those numbers are multiples of 4. So, it is because if it is a number is divisible by 4, then that also has to be divisible by 2. So, that is not possible. So, the next thing we have to show that none of those integers are of the form 4k plus 1. So, now the problem boils down to just to show that none of those integers are of the form 4r plus 1 only. So, we are now just to check only to show that these are not in that bag, that means these numbers will not give remainder 1 when we divided by 4. So, how to attack that one? So, for that you can, if you look at first 11, if you take 11 can be written as 8 plus 3. So, if I divide it by 11 by 4, then I will get remainder as 3. Similarly, 111 can be written as 108 plus 3. That means that, so again if I divide 111 by 4, then I will get remainder as 3. So, in general this can be applied. Let us see that any arbitrary number of the form 1111 and so on 111 can be written as ones and the last 2 digits as 08 plus 3. It is easy to see that 111 and so on 1108, the last 2 is 08, that is divisible by 4. So, entire number will give remainder 3 if I divide it by 4. Thus, all the numbers are of the form 4k plus 3, hence they cannot be a perfect squares. Now, we are solving another problem. Here we have to show that every element in the sequence is a perfect square. We know that a perfect square is of the form 4k or 4k plus 1, but if a number is of the form 4k or 4k plus 1 does not mean that it is a perfect square. Here it is easy to check that all these numbers are divisible by 4, that does not mean that every number is a perfect square. So, how to show that each element in this sequence is a perfect square. So, for that we will proceed like this. Let T n be the nth term of the sequence, then T n minus 1 is equal to R n into 10 power n plus 5 into R n, which is equal to R n into 10 power n plus 5. Here R k is equal to 10 power k minus 1 by 9. Okay. One can calculate easily that what is that R k. If you evaluate that R k, you will get all ones k times. So, this is called a rep unit, a repeated unit. So, all the digits in that number are ones. Note that R k is positive integer as well as all digits are 1. So, this is same as the numbers which we solved in the used in the previous example. So, how to show now this result? So, just we will calculate T n is equal to, and since T n minus 1 is equal to R n into 10 power n plus 5 R n. So, T n is equal to R n into 10 power n plus 5 R n plus 1. So, which is equal to R n into 9 R n plus 1 plus 5 R n plus 1. So, now what we will do, so how we will got that 9 r n plus 1. So, from r k is equal to 10 power k minus 1 by 9, we took the value of 10 power k like 10 power n. If it is r n, then r n is equal to 10 power n minus 1 by 9. So, 10 power n is equal to 9 into r n plus 1. So, we substituted 10 power n value. So, we got that identity. Okay. So, now if you simplify it, it becomes 9 r n square plus 6 r n plus 1, which is equal to 3 r n plus 1 whole square. So, each term here is a perfect square. So, now we want to show another result, that we want to show that n into n plus 1 into 2 n plus 1 by 6 is an integer. So, this is, before proving it, this is one case where we will use the division algorithm. Means I want to show that n into n plus 1 to n plus 1 is divisible by 6. So, for me now A is n into n plus 1 and 2 n plus 1 and B is equal to 6. So, 6 is not equal to 0. So, I can apply division algorithm. So, in order to show that, what I have to show, that n into n plus 1 into 6 n plus 1 is equal to 6 into some integer plus r. R should be a remainder, r is a remainder, that should be 0. So, I have to show that n into n plus 1 into 2 n plus 1 is equal to 6 into some integer every time. So, we will prove this result by using division algorithm, that is we will prove by different cases. That means we will take first we will take n equal to 6 k. So, then what is going to happen? If we substitute n is equal to 6 k in this, n into n plus 1 into 2 n plus 1 becomes 6 k into 6 k plus 1 into 12 k plus 1. Clearly, that last portion you can write it as 6 into some m, where m equal to k into 6 k plus 1 plus into 12 k plus 1. So, similarly, if n is equal to 6 k plus 1 if I choose, then n into n plus 1 into 2 n plus 1 becomes 6 into 6 k plus 1 into 3 k plus 1 into 4 k plus 1. Again it is a multiple of 6. So, now just pause a video and then try for other cases also. In all other cases also you are going to get n into n plus 1 into 2 n plus 1 is going to be a multiple of 6. So, see, these are the calculations. Each time we are going to get a multiple of 6. Now, before going to the next result, we are going to state one principle called pigeonhole principle. What this pigeonhole principle says is, if m pigeons are assigned to n pigeonholes where m is greater than n, then at least 2 pigeons must occupy the same pigeonhole. So, it is easy to understand, means pigeonholes are less than the pigeons, then automatically one pigeonhole has to contain at least 2 pigeons. So, we will prove it. So, we will prove by contradiction. Suppose that given conclusion is false, that is no 2 pigeons occupy the same pigeonhole, then every pigeon must occupy a distinct pigeonhole. So, n is greater than or equal to m, which is a contradiction. Thus, 2 or more pigeons must occupy the same pigeonhole. So, this is one of the useful principle. So, it is applicable at many places, means in the combinatorics this one used very heavily. For example, let us look at this problem. I have a 10 points, I want to place these 10 points in a unit square. Then we want to show that there is at least 2 points, distance between them is less than 0.5. So, how can you show that one? So, I will repeat the question. If there are 10 points, we want to place those 10 points in a unit square, then we have to show that at least there exist 2 points, the distance between them is less than 0.5. So, what we will do here is, we will divide the unit square into small squares, mean 9 squares, means we will divide into 9 squares, then each square length is 1 by 3. Then we have 10 points. So, 10 points if you place in these 9 squares, at least 2 points will go into the same square. So, obviously, the distance between those 2 squares is less than 0.5. So, now we will use this pigeonhole principle to prove another result, another application. So, we will give another application in number theory now. So, for example, we want to show that let n be an integer greater than or equal to 2. Suppose n plus 1 integers are selected randomly, prove that difference of 2 of them is divisible by n. Okay. We are taking n plus 1 integers, then difference of 2 of them is divisible by n. Okay. So, what is here? We have n plus 1 and n. Okay. We have to utilize this and we have to use pigeonhole principle to prove the result. So, proof goes like this, means let q be the quotient and r be the remainder when an integer a is divisible divided by n, then by division algorithm we have a is equal to n q plus r, where 0 is less than or equal to r is less than n. So, then n plus 1 integers will yield n plus 1 remainders. So, remainders here are pigeons, but there are only n possible remainders, pigeonholes. So, therefore, by pigeonhole principle 2 of the remainders must be equal. Okay. So, let x and y be corresponding integers, that means they will leave the same remainder when if you divide it by n, that is x equal to n q 1 plus r and y is equal to n q 2 plus r for some coefficients q 1 and q 2. Then what happens if I take their difference x minus y is equal to n q 1 plus r minus n q 2 plus r. So, we will going to get n into q 1 minus q 2, thus x minus y is divisible by n. So, we proved that if I choose n plus 1 integers, any n plus 1 integers, if you select randomly, then the difference of 2 of them is divisible by n. In this module, we saw the properties of division of integers as well as division algorithm. We saw many applications of division algorithm. So, whenever you come across a problem like we have to show that b has to divide a, where b is not equal to 0, that means you have two integers with you, one is a and other is b, and b is not equal to 0, then better to apply division algorithm. So, if you take a is equal to b q plus r and if you are able to show that r equal to 0, then it says that b divides a. So, not only that one, I suggest you to look at other examples like instead of integers where this division algorithm can be applied. For example, if you take a set of all polynomials with the coefficients from a field f, then there also this division algorithm is applicable. So, these examples and these applications help us to understand the division algorithm in other places also. As you know that in the set of all polynomials with coefficients from field, division algorithm can be stated as f of x equal to g of x into q of x plus r of x, where either r of x equal to 0 or degree of r of x is lies in between 0 and strictly less than degree of g of x. So, it is better to look at other places where this division algorithm is applicable. So, if you are strong in this division algorithm in integers, then it is easy for you to apply these properties in some other cases.